Good morning and welcome to Saturday special of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. Recently, a few days back, Hindus and other followers of Lord Shiva celebrated the festival of Shivratri. The Shivratri is a festival dedicated to Lord Shiva, and the adorers, adherents of the Hindu faith, and even of other faiths, many of them, on this day seek the blessing of Lord Shiva. And in doing so, they feel that they have achieved heaven on earth. The term Shiva itself means auspicious and source of all bliss. Normally, Shiva is assumed to be the god of destruction, which is not, but he is a just deity. There are 8 attributes of Shiva, apart from his famous Natraj, which I talked about last time. And these attributes of Shiva are self-existence. Nobody created him, nobody can destroy him. He is self-existing. Purity, self-knowledge, omniscience, boundless, benevolence, omnipotence, bliss, absence of malice, and no defilement, no impurities. His nature is compassion, which is called anugraha, and love is his being. Now imagine people's mistaken notion that they take one aspect, his tandav nritya, naach, dance tandav, and they think that he is all for destruction, but his benevolence, knowledge, purity, omnipotence, bliss, they are forgotten or they are not known. If you have read Mahabharata, you would find that Yudhishthira asked Bhishma Pitama about the greatness of Shiva. And the reply of Bhishma Pitama is very, very telling. Bhishma Pitama says, no less than Krishna, Vishnu, and Krishna is the embodiment of Vishnu, can describe the greatness of Shiva. So Yudhishthira goes to Lord Krishna and says, ask him, what do you think about the greatness of Shiva, because you are God incarnate? And Krishna says it's impossible to describe the qualities of Lord Shiva because he is the most mysterious of the trinity of Hinduism. Now he has infinite names and forms. That's the beauty of the mythology. But then, when the mythology sustains a culture, it has different things. In Srimad Bhagavatam, even Radha is said to be an incarnation of Shiva himself. Now imagine it. Krishna is the incarnation of a deity, and so is Radha according to Srimad Bhagavatam. Shiva Trastravali, verse 2, 19 to 20 describes Shiva as the evidence of Dakshinachara. Now what's Dakshinachara? That is the right-handed path as well as Vamchara, the left-handed path. So he is all-encompassing. He is not just one aspect. He is the cosmos, the creator of the cosmos in its entirety. So that's why he being the creator and the destroyer ultimately. And when somebody asked me a question the other day, that How can you call him the creator and the sustainer? Then what about Vishnu and Brahma and others? I said, look here, if he was the destroyer, would he have taken the poison to save the mankind? You know, when there was churning of the ocean, 14 gems came out. One of them was poison. And that would have been destroying the world. So he drank it and his throat became blue. That's why he's called Nilkant, the man with a blue throat. So he's just one form. Some people just take the dance, others take the destruction, but he is, as I said, both as far as Shiva totally is concerned, both the right and the left. He belongs to every tradition. And he belongs to no tradition. So, Shiva can be worshipped in any manner, in any place, in any form. This sort of Catholic approach is in no other religion and concerns no other deity. He is a person who puts you on the right path, and that's why Guru Gobind Singh's famous hymn, which is almost the best martial song of De Shiva Varmoy hai. Shubh kar mante kabhu na darung ar soja bajaye ladu. Nischay kar apni jeet kar. So he is a person whose boom would put you on the right path. Fight for the right purpose and with confidence would have every victory. That is Guru Gobind Singh. Now the reason for why Shiva has various names and diverse forms can be traced in Vijana Bhairav. Chapter 5, verse 116 says, wherever the mind goes, whether outside or within, there is Shiv. There is no place without him. He is self-proved, beginningless, primal, ultimate in all respects, and present in everything. I was reading the 10th century mystic, philosopher, and aesthetician Abhinavagupta. It's a great work. Abhinavagupta writes that Shiva reveals himself in lakhs, in crores, 10 crores of endless future bhav manifestations. So in billions of endless manifestations he reveals himself. And any absorption that can be brought about by Maya, thus he appears in those very forms. Tatha Puram eva bhavati. Shiva is almighty, all-pervading, omnipresent, omniscient. He is Shuddh, Pavitra, pure, unadulterated. And he is pure consciousness. And that consciousness pervades the whole universe. He exists in the very electric charge pulsating in the nucleus of even the smallest atom of the matter. In every proton, in every neutron, Shiva exists. I was reading the Tao of Physics by Frigitor Capra. This is again one of the best expositions of physics, where physics and mysticism combine. So Capra, in his magnum opus, the Tao of Physics, says that dance of Shiva can be compared to the dance of the subatomic particles inter alia. He says, the bubble of chamber photographs of interacting particles which bear testimony to the continual rhythm of creation and destruction of the universe are visual images of the dance of Shiva, equaling those of the Indian artists in beauty and significance. A better homage could not have been paid. Last time I had discussed Nataraja, that's just one aspect. But as I said, in billions of aspects he is there. And the creative and the destructive powers of Shiva are described by the historian of the Indian art, Anand Kumaraswamy. He says, his powers, both creative and destructive, are boundless and they're sheer poetry. But despite being poetry, they are sheer science. Quote, poetry, but nonetheless science. So the combination of poetry, which is purely of mind, with science, which is purely reasoning, is Shiva. That's why I call him consciousness incarnate. Shiva uniformly pervades all that exists, irrespective of whether it's material or immaterial, whether it's perceptible or imperceptible, whether it's permanent or it's transitory. This is because Shiva himself is both immanent and transcendent in the universe. The whole universe, whether it's 8 billion human beings, whether it's animal world, whether it's vegetation, the oceans, the biodiversity, everything is a manifestation of Shiva. And it is within himself, because all 36 tattvas, the elements, principles, categories are within him. There's nothing outside him. Now, this description by Anand Kumaraswamy is the best explication of Shiva. And the omnipresence of Shiva is best described by Laleshwari in Lal Vak, Part 1. Shiva is present everywhere. Just as omnipresence of Shiva, process, activity is part of his integrated nature, it is he, and Abhinav Gupta in Tantra Lok, chapter 8, verse 82, creates a bondage, and he who releases a human being from it. So much for the knowledge, process, action. They all become synonyms. Action and thought coalesce, mingle together and become one. There are two modes of the same reality. The consciousness. Shiva, the pure consciousness, is both pure, negative and positive. Freedom and slavery. But he is free from all constraints. He is perfect. Now, one thing has to be explained, that the process of his creation is not willful, it's instant and spontaneous. It's not mechanical, not predetermined. It's not done on purpose, it's just Leela, art for the sake of art. creation for the sake of creation. And that's what Lila is. Sport, game, and all that is a creation of Shiva. And that's why we have to say the whole creation, the whole cosmos is creation of a consciousness, a conscious. And that conscious is Lord Shiva. Hail Shiva. Thank you. Hi.